In this video, we're just going to hopefully finish up numbers 13 through 24 on the notes. And again, this is chain rule times 2, so we're going to be in each of these problems. We are using the chain rule exactly 2 times. Now, there could be a case where you use the chain rule even more than twice, but we're going to stop here for now. I also want to remind you that the derivative of e to the x is equal to e to the x. It's the only function whose derivative is the same as the original function. That's kind of cool. And so let's go ahead and get started here. F prime of x. I'm going to do numbers 13 and I'll do a couple of these and then I'll let you do the rest. Number 13, we can see that the inside function is the exponent. The outside function would be the e. Okay, so when you take the derivative of the outside, it's just the same exact thing that you see sitting right there in front of you. So we have e to the 3x squared minus 2 to the third power. Okay, now I really didn't allow myself a lot of room here, so let me try to kind of angle it down underneath this stuff here. But then again, we have to multiply by the derivative of the exponent. That would be the inside function. The derivative of something to the power of 3. Let me go ahead and split this up. I don't want to try to do too much here at once because this could be a little bit tricky. Okay, so we're going to rewrite this part here. 3x squared minus 2 to the third. Now, the derivative of something to the third power, we can now focus on just that. We know that the outside function is something to the third power. The inside function is this stuff in here. And let me use this little squiggly here. That's the inside function. So you've done this plenty of times. So we use the power rule here. 3 times the inside. And now the inside is 3x squared minus 2 raised to the 3 minus 1, which is 2. And then again, multiply that by the derivative of the inside. And the derivative of the inside is 6x. Okay, and that's it. Okay. For number 14, we have f prime. We can see that the inside function is something to the fourth. Sorry, the inside function is 4 plus e to the 3x to the fourth, but the outside function is something to the fourth. So we know the derivative is 4 times that thing, 4 plus e to the 3x to the fourth, raise that to the third power, and we're going to multiply that by the derivative of the inside, derivative of 4 plus e to the 3x to the fourth. Oops. Okay, so we'll rewrite this whole thing. 4 times that stuff, 4 plus e to the 3x to the fourth, raised to the third. And then again here we have the derivative of the sum of two functions, which is the sum of the derivatives. And we know that the derivative of 4 is 0, so we won't even write that. And we know that the derivative of e to the something is e to that something. And if that something is other than x, we have to multiply by the derivative of it, which is 12. 4 times 3 is 12, times x to the 4 minus 1, which is 3. There you go. I'm thinking that you should not have trouble with numbers 15, 16, 17, 18, and then let me go ahead and start with number 19. All I'm going to do for numbers 15 through 18, I will show you the answers. So go ahead and pause the video, do those problems, and if you just want to do a couple of them, that's fine. If you want extra practice, then go ahead. But here, let me show you the answers to those, 15 through 18. Okay, and I do have that right here. Let me make sure I'm not showing you more than you need to see. There you go. 15. Oh, shoot. So you can only see, there's 15 and 17. So maybe pause the video and make sure you got those. And then here's 16 and 18. Okay? So there you go. Let's go ahead and do number 19. I like number 19. It can be kind of tricky if you don't really pay attention. But it really requires that you are careful. So you have to be really careful. And let's also remind ourselves that the derivative of e to the x is e to the x, and the derivative of e to some function of x let's say u is some function of x, is e to the u times du dx. Okay, so this is the chain rule. All right, so let's do that. Let's let me scoot on over here because I think I took away some of the space I may have needed. So f prime of x. When you're, if you look at this is a big mess here, and I'm having a hard time even reading that. I think that says 4 times x to the fourth. It's really tiny. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it says. But anyway, we have e to the something, and let me just really be careful. E to the something, we know f prime here would be e to that something, and that something is e to the 4x to the fourth. I'm going to call it 4x to the fourth. And then we have to multiply by the derivative of e to the 4x to the fourth. Oops. Dx. Okay, well, the first factor here would be e to the 4x to the fourth. Okay, now we just peeled off one of the e's. Now we just break it down again. We've got the derivative of e to the something. Well, that's e to the something, and that something is 4x to the fourth. But now our exponent is something that we could do in one step. The derivative of the exponent is the derivative of 4x to the fourth, and the derivative of 4x to the fourth is 16x to the third. Okay, so that's number 19, and I'm thinking that maybe I can do number 20, and then you can do the other ones as practice, just to make sure you've got it. All right? So let's do number 20 together, and that'll be it for the video. Well, I will show you the answers to the other ones. We see here f prime of x. Let's go back to the basics. Okay, so if you're getting lost on some of these, maybe you have forgotten that we need to take the, when we know we need to use the chain rule, we have to identify what is the outside function and what is the inside function. Well, with e as the base to anything, the outside function is the e. The inside function is what the exponent is. Okay, so we know that when we take the derivative of e to the anything, it's just e to the anything. Okay, now if that anything is something other than just x, then we have to multiply by the derivative of it. Even if it's just x and we multiply it, if we just made a habit of always multiplying by the derivative of the exponent, if it's just x, that's just going to be 1 anyway. Nevertheless, we have e to the sine of x to the fourth. That will not change. Multiply by the derivative of the sine of x to the fourth. Well, we know the derivative of the sine is cosine. The inside function this time, I should have identified that here. For this part of it, now, we have the derivative. Let me just for emphasis here, we're only focusing on this part of this whole expression now. The derivative of the sine of something, we know that the outside function is the sine and the inside function is the x to the fourth. The derivative of the outside, sine, is the cosine. The inside function comes along for the ride. And then we go, again, we multiply by the derivative of the inside. And the derivative of x to the fourth is 4 times x to the third. Okay? So there you have it. And what I would like you to do is pause the video, do numbers 21 through 24, and then that will be it for tonight. And again, pause the video. I'm going to show you the answers to the 21 through 24, and I will see you in class. Here's number 21. And I'll show you 22, 23, and 24. Okay? There you go. 22, 23, and 24. 22, 23, 24. Keep the video paused, check your answers. Come to class knowing how to do all this good stuff, and I will see you then.